Welcome to Elks 101. Another episode of Elks Central, breaking this one down.
Breaking touchdown, Edmonton! Fajardo! Dunbar! Back on top go the Elks!
Okay, welcome in. Elks 101, February 9th. Declan, Eddie, and Rick here post Super Bowl Sunday. Plenty of Elks news we still need to touch on, and a heck of a lot more in the sporting world. I guess we just got to start this the way we do every episode. Gentlemen, how are we this Monday morning?
A villain, Deck. Chilling like a villain. Super Bowl yesterday was good. Kind of a boring game, but always nice to watch the big one.
Yeah, always. And like for me, I don't know. I love a defensive game. Like I not a lot of people do. Not a lot of people love a defensive game. Like people get, and I get like the allure of it. Like people want to see a 51-45 overtime game. They want to see chunk plays, every second play. Like they want the excitement. But for someone like me, and I don't want to speak for anyone else, seeing what Seattle is able to do schematically on that defense, and even the Pats as well. Like they played a great defensive game. Like
they did.
I always really appreciate that.
I'm with you. And as a D lineman, that was a clinic on both sides.
My goodness.
Williams, if he was able to wrap up Sam Darnold a couple times, he could have had about 3-4 sacks himself for doing
yeah, he could have. He had an incredible. He was in his kitchen, like he was making it uncomfortable for him. There was a point in the game, like I don't know where you guys came out on this, but I honestly, I don't want to be that guy. But after the first Pats drive, I was like, the Seahawks got this. Like that was when I was like, okay, the Seahawks have won this game. The only time it got a little bit nervous, if you want to say that, for me was the Austin Hooper touchdown, just because they were building a little bit of momentum, but then obviously it flipped right after that. Like there was never really a point in the game outside of that one moment, like I said, where I thought the Patriots had a chance to win.
Yeah, their offensive line got dominated, man. Young kids, right? The whole left side is rookies. Will Campbell out there at tackle. I forget the guard, Wilson, I believe, left guard. And then Drake May, he looked like the lights were maybe a bit too bright. Little deer in the headlight-ish. If you look at his numbers, though, he finished, 27 of 43, I believe, for 295?
Yeah, but 230 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, garbage time, and he didn't have a very strong game at all. He was missing guys, open targets throughout the game.
The interception to Julian Love was like,
it's a terrible throw.
I'm not calling it a Trey Ford ball because I'm a Trey Ford guy. But if I was going to compare it to a CFL quarterback we know well, I might call it a Trey Ford ball.
Chris Collinsworth didn't even know what to say.
Well, he had been greasing Drake's wheels a little bit before that one. He was like, he's starting to come in. He's starting to find. Dude, and that throw was. It was just
behind. It was late. It was
everything. Yeah,
it was everything, man.
That's the kind of like
everything bad.
If you're the safety, that is the one like your coach who can't really throw in practice. Like that's a ball he throws you, not an opposing quarterback. You know what I mean?
Because like as the receiver was running across the field, Drake threw it to the hash, and the receiver was like 6 to 10 yards beyond the hash outside of it.
Was it Mac? Was it Mac Hollins on that? It doesn't matter who it was. I don't even know who it was. But like I think even during the play, they were kind of looking back like, what are we doing here?
But just, you could tell the speed of the game. And again, it doesn't help when your O-line's getting collapsed left and right every play. And those rookies, Will Campbell, he ran his mouth about a couple months back, and all those NFL vets have just made him eat it throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, and like he at the draft, he was a guy who was like, I'll die to protect my quarterback, which I'm sure he stands. Like you want to do your job well, especially as a tackle, like no question. Like Will Campbell, he was drafted where he was for a reason, but this was. He got exposed really in the Chargers game.
He did.
And kind of said like they have a $300 million line or something. And Connor Halley was a big Chargers fan. He's like, what's he going to say about Houston's defensive line? Like, is he going to say they have $1 billion defensive line if he thinks we have a $300 million? Obviously they won that game, but this one was just, dude, from the opening snap, he couldn't do anything. He looks like such a fish out of water.
Yeah. The defensive lineman for Seattle, you could see it continuously just put their face mask under his chin and walked him back.
Yeah.
It wasn't off like clean moves. They just exploded through him.
Yeah.
And that's the difference sometimes in pro football, man strength. Guys who are hungry. You're just a 21, 22-year-old kid coming out, man, and you could tell it's tough to hold your own against these hungry men.
And there even were a couple where like it was clean moves that were beating him, and he was just he had no idea. Yeah, and I read he didn't talk to the media after he got requested by someone from the Boston Globe. The guy tweeted it, and he was like, "Yeah, I just left because he wouldn't come talk to us." So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rick, what were your thoughts on the game, man?
Honestly, man, that game went kind of the way I expected it to. outside of the fact I kind of thought Seattle would have a couple more touchdowns there. I didn't see how New England was going to score, and for the first 3 quarters, they couldn't. Right? Their offense just isn't that good.
No, their offense wasn't good.
Their
defense was good, though, man.
Yeah, their defense.
When you're
defense
down
played
12
well.
nothing, when you're holding them to threes and they're getting to the red zone, that's wins for the D.
Yeah, man.
12 nothing. That's a win.
Yeah, and they were no, like they were blitzing like they were getting right in Drake May's face or Sam Darnold's face as well. Like Spillane and I forget who the other backer is. They kept coming. Like they were bringing 6 every time. No, they couldn't
Drake
finish.
May was getting sacked. Sam Darnold would evade it, and that was a huge difference.
Yeah, and Chris Collinsworth made that point as well. I actually have a stat here for you guys. The worst playoff runs for quarterbacks who played in at least 3 games in a single postseason since 2000. Number 3. Rex Grossman back in 2006, his total estimated points added was minus 22.5. Number 2, Peyton Manning in 2015, minus 22.7. And number 1, Drake May this year, minus 29.2 total estimated points added. So a real rough go. And I don't know how much we want to revise history here. But there was a lot of conversation about the weak schedule they had. You come to the playoffs, you play a Chargers team with no offensive line. You play CJ Stroud, who, like,
was terrible.
He was horrible, man. Like 4 picks at the end of the first half in that game. And it felt like every ball he threw was going to be a pick. Like he had nothing. Like that was there was a window in that game for however long it was, however many drives it was, that honestly might have been one of the worst quarterback performances I've ever seen watching football.
Yeah. Like
it wasn't necessarily the whole game, but there was a chunk of the game for however many drives. It was so like nothing. Nothing. It looked like he didn't look like, forget NFL. He didn't look like a pro football player for a chunk of that game. But anyway, yeah, like Pats beat that team. Then you go and play Jared Stidham, the unbeatable Jared Stidham, who hasn't taken a snap, hasn't thrown a ball in 2 seasons. And then it kind of comes full circle against this defense. So I don't know. Like, I don't know where you guys come out on it. Like they made the game, they made the Super Bowl. There's something to be said for that. But they got to the Super Bowl and you realize like there were levels to this.
Yeah, there are levels to it, but it's not even team levels. It's just the offensive levels because the defense, again, was right there with Seattle's defense. It's just that one phase for New England. It wasn't special team. It was just that one unit, their offense. I guess we could say there's levels to it there, but they're not that far off as a team. Their offense struggled. They put up numbers in the regular season. You only can play who you played.
Yep.
The schedule, that's such an excuse to me because you're playing and beating and putting up the numbers against teams that you can in the regular season. In the playoffs, it's funny because Seattle is complete polar opposite. Seattle led the league in turnovers, interceptions, and fumbles this year. And then they go into the playoffs and they didn't have a single one. They completely cleaned up their game. So it's all about how you play down the stretch. And who's kidding who? New England's offense didn't light any of those playoff teams that you said on fire.
No.
They were all mucked up, ugly games. Like their defense had them in it. They weren't lighting teams up at all in the playoffs.
Like the closest would be Houston, but even then, it was just a product of the field switching because of what the defense did and like CJ Stroud's inability to do anything. You know, I was happy for him though. Like it's kind of Mike Macdonald. Like when he got hired as the head coach, like I think people appreciated that it was a good hire, but I don't think anyone thought he was going to be a Super Bowl champion winning head coach in 2 years. Sam Darnold is obviously the big one. Like Sam Darnold, man, 5th different team now. And here's the other thing: like Sam Darnold. He was bad. Like we watched the games. Yes, he wasn't in the best offense. Yes, he didn't have the best coaches, but like he was bad.
For sure.
We watched him.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
This isn't just a thing. Like there absolutely are situations, and this is definitely to a degree some of it, where it's just a guy with a bad franchise. He's with bad coaches. He doesn't have any help. He's got everything working against him. That absolutely exists. Baker, I think, is a good example of that. Yeah. But Sam Darnold, he was bad. Like we all watched him.
He had to learn.
Yeah.
He learned under Kyle Shanahan. He learned under Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's like in the CFL. Maybe Trey Ford will go and learn under Bo Levi and Scott Milanovic.
That's a great segue, to tie it back to the Elks, because if there are people out there who are still rooting for Trey, myself included, like this is obviously they're much different quarterbacks, but this is such a case study of,
written off.
Yes, exactly.
Kid can't play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people who have said that. Can you go and find your game under the right tutelage? Because back to Sam Darnold, man, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, those are a couple of the quarterback gurus, a couple of the best OC play calling coaches in the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Trey, he's going to go and he's going to be under Scott Milanovic, who's a great quarterback coach. Yeah, under Bo, who is, I mean, again, it's different styles. He's going to have to learn. He's going to have to adapt. But
you need to know though in the CFL.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The legs ain't going nowhere.
No, yeah. You can't run an option offense 90% of drives in a 3-down league. Like you got to be able to pass the ball.
You're always going to be able to run for a first down.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be able to make the right read and hit a guy in an 18-yard corner?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And this type of story, like this type of narrative, this is exactly what the Trey Ford truthers are going to point to and say it can be done. Because, yeah, man, like Sam Darnold, so Lamar was in that 2018 class. Mm-hmm. My guy, Josh Allen. Baker was in that 2018 class. The invincible Josh Rosen, like a crazy UCLA's old quarterback.
Saw that.
And and Sam, oh, dude, what did we put him in the graphic for? I get he was a first round quarterback as well, but like we don't need to put Josh Rosen in any graphics.
CEO somewhere now, corporate America.
He's doing like real estate. All right,
something like that.
Yeah, he's it's got to be tough when it doesn't work out.
Especially seeing the money that these quarterbacks are making.
Oh yeah,
too,
absolutely.
Oof,
dude. Yeah, like
backup, like mentioning 10-20 mil as a backup in some situations.
Yeah, like Jared Stidham, he was on a 2-year, $12 million contract, and that's like he didn't throw a pass in 2 years. He's making $6 million a year. Put a little bit of that away, just live off the interest. Like it's How do you feel about where do both? Well, actually, sorry, Rick. Before we any more on the game, or Sam Darnold maybe specifically.
Yeah, you know what? He fought back from everything his career has been, right?
Yeah.
It's good on him. That was, I think, all season, everyone was kind of waiting for the Jets version of Sam Darnold to step up and kind of do that thing that everyone expects. And everybody gets to point their finger and say, yep, that guy's not that good.
So.
But hey, good on him. He came out there and cleaned up his game. And in the playoffs, they were untouchable.
Yeah. And another thing was because last year, he had a great year in Minnesota, but in the two biggest games, the last game of the season to win the division and in the playoffs, he faltered again.
Turned into a lemon.
Yeah, he did. He had an unreal 16 games, and the last two, he faltered.
Really bad.
And people,
like Drake May.
Yeah. Shout out Drake May. And people were kind of saying, is this going to be what's going to happen again? And I think he really kind of solidified it in the NFC Championship game when he had 350 yards against the Rams or whatever it was and was the man in that game. But this was just, I mean, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, forever.
He had a bad game too. He didn't play good.
He did not have a good game.
He had a pretty bad game.
But he didn't throw any. He didn't. It was cost clean. His team the game.
It was clean. He didn't cost his team the game.
Yeah,
when he evaded those sacks that could have been huge, get him in second and third and long.
The big mistake he avoided. Yeah.
That was the biggest thing, because you're right. If you watch the game, look at the stat line. He's not going to blow you out of the water. His passer rating was actually worse than Drake May's, but his QBR was way better because that factors in the sacks and everything.
What did he finish? Do you have it in front of you? What was his number?
So he was 19 of 38, pretty bad. Yeah. 202 yards, one touchdown, one sack for an 8-yard loss.
19 of 38. That's I remember at one point he was 9 of 20.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
No. He didn't have a great game, but to what you said, to what both of you guys said, he didn't make the mistakes when Drake May did, and the biggest one for me was he evaded those sacks. There were a lot of times when guys were in his face and he would get out of it.
He just looked a little more, not even poised, but a little more game experienced.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I think just because of how good, this is a bad thought exercise because it doesn't really get to the point I want to get it to. Because of how good Seattle's defense was, I do think if Drake May and Sam Darnold flip teams, the Seahawks still win, but I think it's a heck of a lot closer of a game. What if we're sitting there all of a sudden and, Sam Darnold, he's 6 sacks for 43 yards lost. Drake May is 1 for it. There's something to be said for what Sam was able to do to kind of extend drives and stay in it that Drake didn't have. And again, like I said, I think if they flip teams, I think the Seahawks probably still win because their defense was so good. But I also think we're looking at a heck of a lot closer of a game. So
that's fair comment.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on the Super Bowl? Anything else we want to? Oh, what'd you guys think of Bad Bunny?
Didn't even watch it, man.
Really? Huh?
Skip through it.
It seemed cool.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. Like I didn't understand a word, but that doesn't really bother me too much. It looked like a Super Bowl show.
That was kind of, we talked about it on the radio this morning. I got the in-depth feel of it.
Mhm.
The production was great. Like I saw 30 seconds, maybe quick. Production, camera work, the show, everything was really good. The dancers, but it was all in Spanish. So
yeah, like I didn't understand the words, but
that's where you kind of lose me, I guess.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like it was cool. It looked great. Didn't understand a word of it. I wouldn't say I really liked it just because like I didn't like I can sit there and be like, hey, that was a good performance. Like you're clearly a showman, like you're clearly a stud, but I just like I didn't understand anything. So I'm not
in
gonna
a different language. So
yeah.
I get the global footprint. You're trying to touch different cultures, different countries, but man, like it's in North America, have it in English. And then a texter said there's 40 million Latino in America. I said, okay, there's 400 million English speaking people in North America. Let's cater to where you're at.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I like that's obviously a big kind of point of discussion for people. I didn't have too much problem with his selection but again, like for me, like I'm not if the Super Bowl didn't have a halftime show, like I'm still watching the game from the same spot on my couch for 4 hours. Like it doesn't change anything for me.
I didn't watch
so
it was just proof that it's a marketing tool.
Yeah.
Right. It's nothing more than a marketing tool, and they're trying to sell the game to the rest of the world.
That's what it is.
And whatever, go at it. Like I was there for the game, not necessarily the halftime show.
Totally.
Yeah, but hey, listen, it was a marketing tool, and that's what they did.
I also appreciate his message at the end, like love. I was about to say hate over love. That would have been crazy. Love over hate. Like I can totally appreciate him.
He did have the opportunity to go into against all the other guy, like against Trump and all that stuff. And I don't think he did that. I thought it was not a divisive show, which could have been. I thought it was relatively like there was nothing there that the other side could get mad about other than the fact it was in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's the one and only.
Because
good production.
Yeah. He had like what came up on like the screen at the end that said like love wins or love over hate, something like that. And he had the football that said "Together we are America." But which I totally like. I agree with those messages, appreciate them. But like to Rick's point, it is also like it's not like he came out there and like
there was no dress.
Yeah,
right?
like
he was supposed to come out and do this and that, and just to like do this to piss off this person, do that to piss off that.
Because my thing is also like
he brought people together with just a unity.
Like even if you're like totally like anti-immigrant, like totally pro-Trump, like are you really going to disagree with a message that says love over hate? Like you're gonna disagree with that? Like
anything more powerful than hate is love. I believe is what was on the scoreboard.
Respect. Totally resonate with that message. I'm glad he threw it up
he
there.
just did not do something to go out there and just a big middle finger to everybody else, right? He went out there and it was just a normal show.
Someone else texted in this morning on the morning show. I couldn't understand a couple of years ago a word that Kendrick Lamar said.
Yeah, that's fair. There is that too, right? Like, there is that whole damn thing like that.
That is funny.
That's just yeah. That's funny, I guess. But come on now, like
I know.
Can't all be Garth Brooks, brother.
No, I know. It was funny.
Yeah. He shouted out Canada. So shout out Bad Bunny for
Canada,
that.
right?
Yeah. He just listed like every country in the Americas, basically. I was like,
1 million views per, so it was 127 for Bad Bunny, 5 million for Kid Rock.
And then Kid Rock was like lip syncing. I saw.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, the fact he still got 5 million, but yeah, 127.
Was that like the turning point you would say?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Brandon told me about that the other day. I didn't know it was a thing.
Yeah.
So what was that? That was just like on their YouTube.
It was like his own little. Yeah, I don't know what it was. If it was on TV, I have no idea.
I'm not.
I just know he was having his own little halftime thing.
Just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Just like we don't want the Spanish guy. I mean, he's still American, but it was just like this is for the other side, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess
it was kind of dumb, but
it was. Yeah,
Puerto Rico, like it's not like it's its own country; it's an American territory. So I get that it's not like America, but it is kind of in a weird spot of being its own thing. But I don't know, like shout out, love though, love over hate. All right, I guess we better get to a little bit of Elks news to talk some CFL here. So we talked a little bit about Kobe and Jalen getting re-signed. We talked more about Kobe. Jalen, yeah, he was the team's Rookie of the Year nominee this past year. Super versatile. Yeah, he was third on the team in tackles with 62. He got his pick. He was like, where do you guys come out on this? Do you think he had a better season than JJ Ross?
No, I don't. JJ came in late.
Well, JJ, yeah, like he wasn't eligible because he technically played a game in 2024.
Yeah. Oh, so you're bringing up the award. You're talking about the award.
Yeah.
I was just more my eye test because I like JJ because he's so big and physical.
Yeah, he is.
So that's what stands out to me.
I agree. Like I like JJ more. He wouldn't have been possible if it was. I would have had him as the Rookie of the Year. But yeah, like it is crazy, and we'll keep talking about Chilling in a second. But to go from like Devondrick Bynum to JJ Ross and just like the complete 180 at the position between those two.
It is in a good way.
Yeah. And like Devondrick, his rookie year, he was a ball hawk, like 5 picks. It's hard to do.
Picks,
like
that's impressive.
But what he did this season, it was just like the defense lacked such physicality. And I know we've harped on this a good little bit, so I don't want to just keep beating a dead horse. But like the defense lacked such physicality. And he was the least physical of everyone who was lacking physicality. Like that's a really, really tough spot to be in.
You know exactly where I stand. There was that one game against BC with the quarterback on the sideline. That was all I needed to see. So you talk about beating a dead horse, man. That's okay. We can dig it up from the grave, beat it, and then rebury it because that was a real thing. When you refuse to put your shoulder into a quarterback, you not only escort him out to the sideline, but because you're escorting him out, he then gains an extra 2 yards because he's like, oh, I'll take what you give me.
Yeah, it's tough. And then, and Leonard Johnson came into the one game before JJ Ross became the starter. And he just had like, I don't know how this has turned into like a Devondrick Bynum, Leonard Johnson slander segment, but he was just like fish out of water. Like couldn't really stay in coverage.
What do they call Bynum? Fat Bynum.
Yeah. Fat Bynum. Dope nickname.
You know anything? Why? Reason?
No idea.
Probably because he's so little.
Yeah, a little stocky. Dude, that's another thing I was thinking about. Like, I was thinking about like the height listings as well. So, I was looking up Cordell on like the Elks website, on the CFL's website. So it's 5'10", 5'7". Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny.
Yeah, they're generous.
I'm not trying to get guys not on our side. Like, but it is just funny that all these, everything is like, I'm like, man, come on. Like,
everything's inflated.
Yeah. But yeah, Jalen. What I love about Jalen, very similar to Cordell, he can play that Sam. He can play that safety. He can play defensive half a little bit, but he is more one of like the safeties, one of the Sams. I like him. Like, again, it's tough because what's weird about Jalen is he was the team's outstanding Rookie of the Year nominee, and I like really, really like Jalen. I think he's a great player. But it's like at safety, I like Kenny Logan the best. At defensive half, I like Cordell the best. And at Sam, I probably like Cordell the best as well. Now, obviously, Cordell can't play 2 positions, so Jalen fits into one of them. But it is just, it's funny to think, like, where does he fit into that defense? What's best for him? And like I said, I'd love to ask him what he likes playing best. Because I think the best defensive lineup, I know Cordell likes playing Sam. I think you've said you like Cordell at the Sam. Like, you think that's his strongest position. Yes. I still think the strongest makeup is Cordell at half, Jalen at Sam, and then Kenny back at safety. I think Kenny, we've talked often about this, like the Sam is a position that you do, like you're thinner, you're a little bit more nimble than the Will and the Mac. But even still, like I think Kenny is still, I think he's a little too undersized for the Sam. Like I think Jalen, he's got great build for the position, great in run support. At the safety, he doesn't quite have like the DB instincts I find that Kenny Logan has. But he's a guy I want in my defense no matter what. And if I'm putting him in there, like I'm putting him in at the Sam. So.
One of the things too, without trying to box them into specific positions. Yeah. It's nice that they can play multiple positions. There's 3 guys back there that can rotate around and really play 3 different positions. So what that allows is it allows the coach to create different blitz packages from different areas on the field, different positions to confuse the quarterback. Because normally throughout the course of a week, a quarterback is watching, studying film, and you're expecting so-and-so to be the Sam, so-and-so to be the free safety. You know, this is the corner. And then you can tell when they're in a man coverage or a zone coverage. You study their tendencies. But when you're changing it up and having guys play different positions, it's very confusing for a quarterback. And then he doesn't know where or who's going to be coming on pressure packages.
Yeah.
So it's such an ace in the pocket for the Elks to have guys with this type of versatility.
How often would you say teams, like what would you say the percent breakdown is between teams being in man and zone coverage in the CFL?
That's a good question. Very good question, Deck. You know, it honestly, lame answer, but it all depends on who you're playing, game scenario, game script. Do they got a running back that can go off? It really depends. Our heyday with under Chris Jones in 2014, 2015, when we had some really good Ds, we did a lot of man coverage and pressured. And then when you're bringing the pressure, it's harder for a quarterback to get the ball off and put it to the right place. Yep. So it's easier to run a little man coverage. Now, what we would also do, second and long, I've talked about this, we would only bring 3. We would have Odell drop into coverage, and we would have 9 in coverage, usually in zones. And then we would just get pressure with 3, and good luck quarterback trying to, you're essentially going 5 against 9.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's funny because I think a well executed man coverage is like just a thing of beauty. Like when everyone can lock up their receiver across the board. But the tough thing about man zone, you get a little bit of help. You know, like man coverage. If you got one guy in that secondary who isn't great in man coverage,
you can get exposed.
It's
personnel too.
Yeah, for sure.
We had Pat Watkins and some big long corners, right? So personnel is everything. You can get away definitely with this unit right now. JJ and Tyrell Ford on the outside. Man, you can get away with running them man often and having the inside guys on zones and stuff. There's so many ways you can play and get creative.
Yeah, I would love to just sit down and be able to scheme up coverage sets for this Elks team, because I think there are a lot of fun things you can do with the personnel they have.
There are.
Obviously there's probably a good degree of bias just being, hey, ElksNation, but I really think the talent that exists in this secondary is right at the top of the league. And again, that's, yes, I'm watching them a little bit closer than I'm watching, Hamilton and Ottawa, but still what all those guys can do on an individual level. It's really, really impressive stuff.
Well, we watch pretty much every game. You watch almost every CFL game. It's really not hard when there's only a few games over the course of a weekend.
Yeah.
And the eye test tells you a lot, Deck, in just the way that this team finished that last third, the last 6 games of the season, the way the secondary ball hawked, the way they hit, there was a presence there. And not every team across the league had that presence. And then the numbers backed up what the eye test said in the final 6 games. So it's expected that they're going to come in, hit the ground running, because we've interviewed essentially the whole unit now and their D coordinator, and that continuity, they know each other, they know what to expect. So I have great expectations for when this upcoming season hits the ground, man, that this unit is going to be one of the best units from the jump.
Yeah.
D-line's got to prove it.
Yep.
Secondary, I firmly believe it.
Yeah, I agree. Same with the linebackers.
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it.
I believe they'll be one of the top units across the league. Top 3 for sure. D-line's got to prove it.
Another piece of Elks news. Rick, anything you wanted to add on Jalen and Kobe? We talked about Kobe a good bit on Friday. At this point, they got re-signed. I think it's expected. So I don't know how much more we can add.
But on the head there. I mean, I honestly can't wait to get the kickoff going here in a couple of months.
Yeah, I was just thinking, so football's over in the NFL. I was also thinking, to a casual fan, do you think they would have enjoyed the Grey Cup more this year or the Super Bowl more this year? Because I think a casual fan who's just tuning in for football would have liked the Grey Cup more.
I would agree.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes a CFL game is just more exciting than an NFL game. I mean,
I couldn't agree more.
Sometimes that's just the way it is.
There's
boring games out there, and last night's Super
Bowl
was
punts?
kind of.
Yeah.
It was 12, 15 punts?
Was that what the total was?
I just assuming.
Yeah, I mean, it was up there.
Quick math off the top of my mind. New England punted every possession in the first half. So there's 5 at least.
Seattle
punted it back many times.
Yep.
So yeah, there's definitely teens, I bet.
Dude, there's got to be a year. There has to be a year where a game ends 3-0 and punter gets MVP because they just down 6 balls inside the 5.
I was hoping their kicker might get MVP.
Yeah, he was
hitting field goals.
I put a little live bet on Ernest Jones to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think he had like 4 tackles at the time. He ended up with like 11 tackles. If Kenneth Walker didn't have his performance in the game on the ground, he would have been a good shout. But yeah, like because I was thinking shades of Malcolm Smith when the whole defense just plays so well, and you got to give it to one guy. Because really, that's another thing. Just to jump back to the Super Bowl for a second, their defense was the MVP of this game, like for sure.
And it was like you just said, multiple guys because couple guys had 2 sacks. There's some turnovers, tackles. If one guy would have popped and maybe had 3 sacks, MVP. But because so many people were eating, it's hard.
Yeah, you're right, and they all did eat, man. Like everyone on that defense. Okay, another piece of Elks news. I don't know if you guys saw this one. Jabari Arthur, former receiver, played in Calgary for the majority of his career. He has joined the Elks coaching staff as the running backs coach.
Oh, interesting.
So you can probably speak to this much better than I can. Where do you come out on that hiring?
I would say it's all about the relationship. So Calgary, spent time in Calgary. What's the common connection? Kill him. There's a relationship that had been built over the years. Giving him a shot. That's what I would say.
How do you feel about him being the running back coach?
No different than I feel about Demetrius Maxey, who was the D-line coach last year, but on paper he was the special teams coordinator. Yeah. That's how it works. It's with this coach's cap. They're just titles. They're not actually job descriptions.
Okay.
Because, he'll be the running backs coach for sure. And you can do that. But everybody's doing a little bit of work. The offensive line coach is helping with the run game as well. So they're all doing a little bit of it. And running back coach, it's one that you can kind of
it's not
kind of place anybody there, not not to diminish the position, but you can, if you look across the league, there's been a few different teams where this guy
saw that?
I did. I see that, man.
Trying to hide it.
I'm trying to walk and talk through it.
You're big J for a second there. You gave up at the end, but I'm saying, like, as a former receiver,
but there's it doesn't mean anything because there's defensive coaches who've gone and been offensive line coaches, running back coaches. The more hats you can wear and the more you can know the game, the better you're going to be. So just because you played receiver, I've seen it many times. Mark Mueller, is he still in SAS? I forget where he's at now.
I don't know actually,
but man, he's done a few different. He's highly touted as an offensive coach, but I've seen him do many different coaching positions. So you do it all, just like Maxey last year here. He wasn't on paper, I think, even the D-line coach, but he was the D-line coach, and we know Kellen was running the special teams. Yeah, it's this coach's cap. You got to get around it, and it's tough.
Yeah, see, so the thing with Mark, just really quickly, so I knew like his contract was over after this season. According to everything I've seen, like apparently he is still the OC. But I hadn't seen anything about him getting re-signed or anything like that. Let me ask you this one, kind of a weird question. How many coaches on a staff, and it's like kind of a select few, like it's not, you're probably not going to jump from passing game coordinator to head coach. You're probably not going to go from running backs coach to head coach. But how many coaches on a staff are sitting there? Like the head coach has brought you in. He's, you're his guy. He's your guy. But how many of them are kind of thinking like, if he gets fired, like I might be next up for head coach. Sure. Like how often are they really thinking about that?
Probably more often than we talk about or anybody would verbalize.
Yeah.
But it's human nature.
Yeah.
Look at last year here with Chris Jones, and then Jarius got his opportunity.
Jarius he did well as an interim head coach.
What's interesting about that is Jason Shivers held the title of assistant head coach, and he didn't get that head coach opportunity. Yeah, they gave it to Jarius.
Yeah,
it was very interesting.
That's interesting. And I think I read, I don't think Jarius. It was either Jarius wasn't interviewed for the head coaching spot when the new regime came in, or G-Roy wasn't interviewed.
G-Roy was out of the mix for sure, and I think I may be wrong, but I think Jarius did interview, but it was like not even it was lip service. It out, just as a petty interview.
Interesting.
I don't think he was ever going to be.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever seriously going to be brought back either. But I thought
Well, it goes back to many moons ago. The previous regime, like with Chris Jones, going back to 2014-15, Jarius was on that staff when Ed was the GM back then. So Ed knew about Jarius and how he operates, and probably just wanted to go a complete different direction.
Fair enough. I can understand it based on the direction the franchise was going. I wanted to ask you guys both this one as well. What kind of start? Because I was thinking about this. I was thinking actually about we're recording an episode of Elks Central, like week 5 of the season. Elks haven't won a game, and I have this huge monologue. Then I was thinking, like, what kind of start would the Elks have to have for you guys to kind of scratch your head and be like, are we doing this again? Like, is it 0-3? 0-3.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the threshold, the benchmark.
Where do you come out, Rick?
Yeah, probably. I'm just it's gonna be to me, it's a little bit how they look though, too. How they look on the field.
Yeah,
right?
That's valid, Rick.
There's sometimes
are you competing or not?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta take it as the games go. But yeah, let's hope they don't.
But
go
if you're 0-2 and you look like you're even 0-3 and you're competing, quote unquote,
I know
you're still 0-3.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was going to say. Like, I do agree with Rick in the sense, like, if they're 0-3 and they outgain the team by 200 yards and it's just like a ball doesn't go their way late in the game, call doesn't go their way late in the game, and they're like, they lose 3 games by 1 point, like, you definitely feel better. But you do kind of got to reset yourself and be like, our team's still 0-3.
Yeah, and what
a tough
suck about that is, like, it's been like 6 years now of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, here we go again. And that's what would happen with the fan base.
That was part of the monologue I made up for myself.
Yeah, you can't do that, man.
Yeah.
You can't alienate the fans like that. You have to give them something to be excited about. It is so critically important, more important for this organization than any other in the CFL, because the other organizations aren't leaking fans the way the Elks are.
Yeah.
Because we know the mishaps that this organization has done. We know the losing that has accompanied those mishaps. It hasn't been pretty.
Yeah. And this is the thing, like, it kind of every level of fan, like, I think there's some degree of them being hosed over the past 5 years. Like, when you look at, like, the old school fans, the guys who have been around, for the glory days of the Double E when they were the Eskimos, and I'm talking like maybe they're in their 50s, 60s, 70s, like, a few years back now with the name change, like, they were basically told to piss off. Like, it was like, hey, we don't need you guys anymore. We're going, yeah. Thanks for your, but it wasn't even thanks for your service. It was just like, get out. We don't care about you anymore. So you're completely hosed in that sense. If you're a young fan, you haven't really known anything but losing. And if you're a middle of the road fan, like, it's awesome to go to a game in the summer, get together with the buddies, but it's like, if they're getting, if they're like, if they're losing for 6 years straight, there's not a lot of incentive to come back as a middle of the road fan. Like, you can find a fun summer activity doing something else.
A la Riverhawks. So that's why I say critically important that you get some wins, man. It is critically important.
I agree. The Elks have the worst, from what I had seen, they had the worst betting odds to win the Grey Cup this year. And I will be placing that bet.
Likewise.
I will be placing that bet.
It is crazy to me, though. So before UFA started, they were plus 1,500, right? And then they come out, and the first 2 days, or maybe it was even the first day, they moved to plus 1,600. I thought they made the team better.
I did too.
Like that.
And for the record,
good money.
I'm looking at it right now. It's plus 1,800. I don't understand where it's like.
On what site?
365.
I'm betting that.
To me, they have gotten better. This is a better team today than it was 2 weeks ago.
I totally agree.
And yet they're moving backwards somehow.
So I think part of that is,
and like Saskatchewan, nobody in the West has gotten better.
No, Saskatchewan got
right. Saskatchewan lost some.
Saskatchewan got way worse, man. They lost a bunch of players. That's why I said we got the last one. Elks got the next 5 because AJ Allen's gone, CJ Rivas is gone, Robustellier is gone. We lost
the D-line.
Yeah, Malik's gone.
Carney's gone.
Who did we lose to NFL opportunities? Was it Keyshawn? Or it was Keon? It was like, I'm saying, depleted. Yeah. So you get your one, everyone go gets their paycheck. I'm cool with that. I can live with that. So yeah, like I think a part of that is, like, I wonder if they look at some of the return pieces from that defensive line that was really, really underwhelming.
Micah went in, retired coaching now too.
That's right.
Sask.
Yeah, Micah's he's a legend, man. He's a legend of the game. So I don't know. Yeah, like I also wonder if a part of it is like, the brass at Bet365, the guys who set the line. And this probably isn't true because betting is such a it is such a everything by the I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's such a they are taking every precaution and every step to make sure. So I don't want to say it's guys who don't understand the game and aren't setting the line correctly, because the house always wins. And there's a desert. Absolutely. There's a magical city in the desert because of it. But it does still feel like, do you guys really know what the Elks have done here? Like there's a little bit of that for me. So
I've experienced that with some CFL. I've talked about that in the past, right?
Yeah. That Hamilton game, right?
Yeah. So it's been known to happen. Been known to happen. Take advantage when it does, Zach. That's all I can say.
Yeah, man. Plus 1,800.
Take when it does.
That's great value.
I'm not saying that's easy money, but that's great value. It's
great.
Well said.
Great value.
Great value.
One last one I wanted to touch on, one headline around the league before we get to Rick's rant and our blind ranking. 3 Down Nation had this article that I thought was really cool. I just wanted to kind of get your guys' take on it. So apparently, after Andy Fantuz left the Riders in free agency, Darian Durant didn't talk to him for years. Like he says, we didn't talk for years. He'll tell you we didn't talk for years. I was so pissed. It was years. I would say it was at least 4 years. Even after the Grey Cup, we played Hamilton in 2013. I didn't say a word to him during the week. He's my best friend. I've never told anyone the story, and it's crazy, but I didn't talk to him for years. I was that pissed off at him. When it happened, I was in my 20s, that I got in my early 30s, and I started understanding the business more. That is pretty crazy. Like I've never really heard of anything like that in free agency. Like I get that guys, like these are your brothers in a lot of respects, and you've been through, you've grinded it out with them, but he did touch on it at the end there, like understanding it's a business, but for years to not talk to a guy that leaves in free agency, like that seems pretty crazy to me.
It's nuts, man. Because every time you hear about, you see all the time that, you have 2 best friends and one leaves to go wherever else. And all you ever hear, it's a business. It's a business. It's a business. To hear that, like 2 guys super close, one leaves and they don't talk for years. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Like Eddie, man, you can speak to that, like the best being inside these locker rooms like that. To me, that's just crazy.
Yeah. It's a little, especially in such a small league too.
Yeah.
You're crossing paths so much.
And the crazy thing, like back then, teams did definitely stay together a little bit more. But back then, it was like...
What year did Andy leave? Do you remember?
2012.
It was 12.
Yep, 2012.
Yeah, it was 12. Because I was in Hamilton at that point. That's when he came in.
Yeah. What was he like? He was always one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he was cool. I mean, I didn't mess with him too much. I was a young D tackle. He was a big receiver. Him and Henry Burris came in together.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say starstruck. I just stayed in my lane.
Yeah,
I wasn't. Sure. You never really mess with offensive players to begin with.
Yeah.
And I just stayed in my lane.
And it's crazy because, like I said, like back then teams stayed together a heck of a lot more. Now, like you would never see someone getting mad about this. Like players aren't on a team for more than 2 years.
Yeah, you're getting your money now. Yeah, and
he got about $750K over 4 years.
Yeah, he got paid big in Hamilton. He got paid really big.
And he was going home.
Yeah, come home. It's interesting too because in Saskatchewan they had the Canadian Air Force, right? They had Fantuz, Rob Begg,
Jason Claremont.
Who else would have been on that?
G-Roy
Weston,
Simon,
of course, who wasn't Canadian, but
kind
Weston,
of fake Canadian.
Yeah.
Who else? They had
So like they had a lot of chemistry for many years. So I get that Durant was a little butthurt, but to not talk to a guy about getting his money, thinking that he betrayed you. Yeah. It's not right.
I thought it was I thought it was an interesting headline.
Young, right? Yeah. Young, immature.
Absolutely.
Grow up, you figure out the biz.
Yep. Okay. Do we want to get to a little Rick's rant here?
Yeah, we're ready to roll here. And you know what? This is going to be less of a rant by myself because somebody dealt with it earlier this week during all the media time for the NFL there for the Super Bowl. But it's Jeff Garcia. I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
Yes.
And I don't know exactly how even the conversation came up, but Jeff Garcia came out and I don't know. I guess I feel better about this because I do stand up for the CFL. But when you have an incredible player in the CFL, is he a Hall of Famer?
Garcia?
Yeah. And then
I think so.
And then he went to the NFL, and he's a multiple-time Pro Bowler. And Jeff Garcia came out last week and said, you know what, there's not a lot that differentiates a CFL player from the NFL, that it's more about opportunity. And it's when you have a player who played in both leagues comes out and stands up for the CFL and just says, you know what, these guys are good. And it's pretty much opportunity is the biggest reason why they don't play in the NFL. I kind of enjoy that. So we're going to give this one to Jeff Garcia standing up for the CFL players.
I saw it as well, Rick, and I loved it. And I don't need to tell you guys, he's right. And he had a long career in the NFL. It was like 12 seasons or something after
Not a CFL Hall of Famer, though.
He was
Calgary Stampeders Wall of Fame.
He was only there for 5 years, right?
4-time West Division All-Star.
4-time West Division All-Star.
Grey Cup champion, Grey Cup MVP.
Yeah.
Like they just kept producing quarterbacks, man. It was nuts.
Yeah, he was only there for 5 years.
Because they had Doug, then they had Flutie, then they go to Jeff Garcia, and their last one was Dickinson, and even he went to the NFL for a short little stint with the Chargers, I believe.
But I agree, man. Like, dude, Tom from his couch is going to tell you the gap is wide, and then like NCAA team would be the CFL team. Then you get a guy like Jeff Garcia who comes out and tells you the talent gap is right there. And he's right, like it is. And we've had other players tell us that. We've had players who've been in the CFL who have, been down in NFL. Yeah, Ocho was huge. Johnny Manziel as well said it. He thought he was going to be a cakewalk. Ocho thought it was going to be a cakewalk. I know Aaron Grimes, who spent time down on practice rosters down south. He said, like,
Alex Singleton.
Yeah, look, like
playing currently.
Brandon Browner, I'm sure he's not. He would have said it. He's probably not. I don't know if we're putting a mic in front of him. He's, but
you're funny.
So
bro.
I'm telling you, man, like the level, like how many times can we tell you? Just listen to Jeff Garcia.
Yeah.
Like you played the game, man.
Yeah.
And CFL is great ball.
I've said it many a times, but people think it's disingenuous. I'm biased because I'm a Canadian kid, but I've played against so many All-Americans, big time college program dudes, big like USC, Notre Dame, the biggest of the biggest, and they're just dudes, man, just average.
Yep.
I've seen it. I've eaten their lunch.
Yeah.
I've seen it, and that's not a pat on my back. I'm just these guys that they bleed just like us, Deck.
Yep. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I just still think about like people who are like, so like, it's so weird to me. Like, let's just use this city as an example. Like you'll get dudes, cause it is kind of more a my age group kind of thing. Dudes who are so elitist for the NFL. I'm like, I'm not going, why would I go to a CFL game? I'm not watching that. And people just don't realize the quality of ball they're watching. That's why, like, when you talk about what sporting event in this city is best value, everything considered, like it's the CFL all day long. Like the NHL, obviously that's the best product being the National Hockey League, but
you're paying,
yeah.
Riverhawks. Yeah, that's fun. And you get your cool beer bat and all. Like it's not
a high quality.
It's not. These guys don't even go yard. No. Like I'm not here to.
It's a college summer league.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not here to.
But it's not the second biggest league.
Not pro.
Yeah, I'm not here to rip on anyone's baseball ability. Like I'm not.
And put it this way, man. Like I bet you there is a handful of tackles in the CFL that would have looked way better than Will Campbell last night.
Mm-hmm.
I can promise you that.
Dude, Stanley Bryan for like a decade plus.
You that, Deck.
Yeah, man. So best bang for your buck. Shout out Jeff Garcia. He knows. What are we gonna do? Sit here and tell Jeff Garcia he's wrong?
Ball nowhere.
Real ball nowhere. You know what? Hold on a sec. I'm looking at this worst playoff runs for QBs who started at least 3 games. Jeff Garcia ain't on that list. I'm seeing it actually is a hilarious list. Like you look at some of these names, and we'll get to the blind ranking in a second. But like Rich Gannon, Trent Dilfer, Kerry Collins, Rex Gross, like just some terrible quarterbacks. Man. Terry Collins, he was only slightly worse than Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer was minus 5.6 on that Super Bowl run. He only completed 35 passes.
Only had to.
70. Yeah, you're right.
That defense was insane.
Man, that deep.
Yeah, like
special.
you would think Seattle's defense was smothering. Think back to what that Ravens defense was.
Dude, I always think about the stat, and it's like I'm making up a stat right now, so don't tell people this, but it's something like this.
Yep.
It's to the degree of if the offense never scored a point, they would have gone 8-8 that season. or it's something like that. Like
It's crazy, man.
it's in that area. Someone will go find that.
man.
Yeah,
Believe
it's
you.
something crazy like that. Okay, should we do a little blind ranking? Finish up the show. Unless, is there anything I've missed? Anything you guys want to talk about? Okay.
All right, we're talking running backs in the CFL.
There we go. I know who my number one is.
And yeah, like I just grabbed 5.
Okay.
Right? Not necessarily the top, not the bottom, just 5, but they're pretty good. Let's start off with Andrew Harris.
So are we talking right now or all time?
They're definitely not all playing right now.
Okay. I will go number 3.
Andrew Harris was so good
Changed the
at his
game.
peak.
Canadian, one of the best to ever do it.
Played way longer than people
10,000
think
yards.
too. Like, I'll put him number 3.
Let's go pinball.
5. Pinball was good, but he had a shorter run than people I think really believe.
Yeah, I want to look up his stats. Right, it's not going to affect where I put him. I think I'm going to put him at 4 regardless, but I do want to look up his stats.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Pin at 5. Like I liked him, and he was explosive and elusive, but it was a short tenure there in Toronto. He only really had like a really strong couple of seasons.
Yeah, he was kind of more of a kick returner, but I'll put him at 4.
John Cornish.
Oh man, I love John Cornish. I'll put John Cornish at. Oh, I don't think I can put him at 2 though.
No,
he was so good. No, you're right. I'll put John Cornish at 2. He was so good.
Yeah, man.
I should have put Pinball at 5.
I put Harris at 3, who has way better stats than Cornish.
Man, okay, let me switch it. I'll put Cornish at 5.
Because Harris has
Unfortunately,
10,000 yards.
That's
Cornish has
tough
like
to do.
7 off
Yeah.
the top of my mind.
It's tough to do.
So yeah, Cornish will be 4, but he was
So good, man.
Year, but it was his O-line too. His O-line was so dominant.
Dude, the Calgary pipeline of Joffrey to
Yeah,
him
Joffrey
was
to him,
crazy.
It was good. Cornish will be 4 though.
Yeah, I guess he's 5 for me. Sorry, John.
Harris, Cornish, Pinball so far.
I got Harris, Pinball, Cornish so far.
Joffrey Reynolds.
Oh, see, John
Don't
was
like
better
that.
than Joffrey
Yeah,
Reynolds.
Don't like that. He's 2.
He's got to go 2.
I'm getting pigeonholed now.
Yeah.
You guys will be okay with this one.
Justin Rankin. Yeah,
Well,
Mike Pringle.
that's good.
That's
to
easy, number 1.
Force ourselves into the
Yeah.
best running back in CFL history.
I was hoping George Reed was going to show up. He was going to be my number 1 no matter what. But yeah, Mike Pringle. I mean, like,
He's a beast.
I don't think.
Man, if you look up his numbers, how many like 1,200 yard seasons he has?
Yeah.
It's pretty insane.
No, dude, it's ridiculous. So he had 6 1,600 yards.
616.
Like,
That's wild. bro.
Unreal. And that 2,000 yard season, obviously.
That's insane.
And not only did he have a 2,000 yard season, his average was 6 yards a carry.
Those are insane.
You can give it to him
numbers.
every play and just keep getting first
It's
downs.
insane, man. In a different style of ball, too, different era.
In fact, yeah, his lowest CFL career rushing average per game was 5. Oh no, sorry, his last year was 4.4. But before that was his last year of his career. Before that, it was 5.0. You just give him the ball, it's a first down.
Yeah.
Give him the ball twice, it's a first down.
Yeah, that's insane.
16,000 rushing yards. Come on, now.
16. Is that so? Pull up the top 5 if you don't mind.
Yeah, let me pull it up here.
'Cause, you know, I'll
CFO.
talk while you're pulling that up. Because if Harris is at 10-3, I just checked it up. Yeah, the top 5. It's going to be some impressive names.
You guys ready for it?
Number 1.
Pringle, obviously number 1. My guy, George Reed, number 2.
He's in 15s, right?
16-1. Yeah, only other guy in 16. Dude, I'll tell you, there is a massive drop off. Pringle's at 16-4. George Reed's at 16-1. Number 3 is 11-9.
Oh, wow.
Do you have any guess who it is?
Oh, no.
You might be.
It's not Charles Roberts because he just was under
It's
11.
not. Yeah, he's at 10-2, and Charles Roberts was cold.
Yeah.
He's at number 6. It's not him.
Oh, I would know it. Come on.
It's a quarterback.
Oh, Damon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I
wow.
was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, Damon's at number 3. Johnny Bright, the
Yeah.
legend, at number 4. And then Andrew Harris, number 5.
Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, hand up. Maybe I'm a fake ball knower. I didn't know Andrew Harris was 5th all time
Yeah,
rusher.
man.
Yeah.
10,000.
I didn't know he was 5th all time.
When
Yeah.
you hit 10,000.
Because I thought there were more guys who would hit 10K.
Yeah,
There's only 6.
Hard. And like if you think about
And
it,
Joffrey Reynolds is at 9,200.
like,
That surprises me too.
Brady Oliveira, what's he at career wise?
Let's check it out.
Under 6.
Is he under 6? No, you think?
He's only been the starter for 4 years.
I know, but he
put up some big numbers, but
yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, he's at 5'4", pretty much 5'5".
5'5", and like he's 27, I think, going to be 28, and he needs to have another 5,000 productive seasons, 1,000 yard productive seasons to get 10. And like with that running stat, I don't know, man.
They did give him a nice extension, but no, with his style, no, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I think he could get up to
maybe another 2-3 solid bruiser years, but he's a bruiser, man.
He is. I think he could get up to like 8-ish.
Yeah. Like it's hard. And then the next, there's nobody playing right now that would come close.
Justin Rankin.
Yeah, like
but he's got a lot of work to do. Yeah. He's got a lot of work to do. Yeah. Man. Yeah. Brady Oliveira, he's 8th all time by a Canadian. So
yeah, Harris, man,
something.
It's quite impressive. I got to watch the whole thing from grade 8 on up too.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Unreal. Man, I'm looking at some of these,
when you get into
records.
some of these records and all-time career stuff, even NFL, it's like sometimes you forget.
Yeah.
Or you're overhyping some guys and you see what they really did.
Yeah, like dude, I'm looking at like the 5th all-time leading receiver in CFL history is Nick Lewis. And I love Nick's game, but I never would have thought he was 5th all time.
Oh yeah, man. Because at the end of his career, he was just 700-yard season, but like not
just stacking them. He did stay
in a bunch of.
He did stay in the league a lot. It was like another. You're like, oh hey,
into a fullback.
Nick's here another year. Good for
much
him.
Turned into a fullback.
Yep. There's some crazy ones out there. I gotta see who's the Les Brown, most interceptions, 87. Baron Miles, 2nd.
Yeah, Baron.
Baron was cold.
Coached by him.
All right. Is there anything else we want to touch on?
Oh man, another good one in the books.
Another good one in the books. Text us. Well, don't do that maybe. But tweet us, DM us. Let us know what you want to hear on the show. Let us know who you want to get lined up for Friday. I think we definitely want to go.
We need
offense or look
Cody
at
was our last offensive player, probably.
I would love to talk to Kaon. I would love to talk to Austin Mack too, just because he's obviously new, and I think it'd be great to give the fans an introduction to him. I'd love to talk to Kaon as well, because I was going through Kaon's Instagram the other day, and he's got like the coldest captions. He had one of him holding the Grey Cup, and the caption was, I've been gray for a while, but it's all worth it, or something like that. Like every caption is just the coldest caption you've ever seen. So I just want first question. Yeah, 100%. But let us know.
Get an offensive player. We will.
Yeah. Let us know who you want to hear on the show. Hopefully we can get to them. Thank you for listening to this. Check out Elks Central as well. We'll be back on Friday. Love you guys.